be, then I'll go. Thought that
Welcome back to the Grand Colombia channel. Welcome to Coffee Time Live. I would say we'd have a beautiful day in Armenia, Colombia, but honestly, it's really, really overcast and a little cool. You think it's cold today?
A little bit.
A little bit. This is my friend Alejandra, also known as Alexa.
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
And she's very nervous, first time on camera. But until we get to question and answer, she'll just be kind of suffering through my topic along with you guys. Now, this week, put out a couple videos. I don't know if you have questions or comments on those. We'll take those later. Greetings from Helsinki. Welcome back. My phone's making noises. And with two people, we have to be careful that we don't throw each other out of focus. So we're going to try to not move very much. Try. Today's topic is on making friends in Colombia for two reasons. I get a lot of questions about if I move there and if I'm alone, is it difficult to make friends? And Mr. Man Without a Name, he says that it's necessary to learn Spanish and, you know, you got to have 6 years. And I beg to differ. I make friends easily with or without language. Now, having a heart-to-heart conversation with people and developing and maturing that friendship, you know, that's another thing. And there's ways to go about that. But don't let language be a barrier. Greetings from Cuenca. Hello. Don't get a lot of people watching from Cuenca. Hola, Alejandra. What am I, chopped liver?
Hi, Mike.
What about me? It's all about me. So I got a couple reasons that question that's asked a lot. And I'll start right off. It's absolutely easy to make friends, but you're coming to a place that's different. And so how you go about making friends might be a little different, but it can get corrupted. It's hello, chopped liver. Thanks. I appreciate that. So I want to talk. I'm going to start with a tale. I'm going to leave off names to protect the guilty. But, you know, when I meet with people, I explain certain things to them about the culture to help them not make some mistakes. And sometimes that lesson is just not listened to. And particularly here in Armenia, where it's kind of a small community. You awake over there? It's
¿Dónde?
she's zoning out. There's a camera in case you're wondering.
No, okay, estoy mirándolos.
Yeah. So sorry. So it's easy to fall into certain traps, I guess, but it's viewed as a matter of moral character. And in a place like Armenia, that's really important. Now, Medellin, things are a little different because it got corrupted a long time ago. But in a place like this, or through most of Colombia, what I'm going to tell you is basically true. And I'm going to throw out some cliches and things that you already know, but you know, people tend to forget. Christopher, hello. First of all, money's not a friendship, and buying friends just doesn't work. So my tale that I want to tell is somebody who was meeting up with people over some practical things and decided to befriend someone. And over the course of that, learn some things about, you know, her struggles and things that are going on. And so seemed nice enough. Just leave the, yeah. If I don't want the autofocus, just put you on the camera and I could stay up. See my haircut? So, all right, where was I? Stop it, Rob. You're distracting me.
Not Rob.
So he was befriending this person and learning some things about it. And he's looking at, he's got a lot of extra money. So he started offering, let me help you with this and this. And it was like, no, no, no. And yes, yes, yes. And it doesn't matter. It's not important to me. And without going into any details, a lot of things were altered in her life because of the help that was being offered. She moved to a better neighborhood and put her kids in a different school. And this was over a period of time. It wasn't like just one thing. And so, she was decided to accept the kind offer. Except then the other shoe dropped, and it became more of a, I'm giving you these things and you have, in other words, they had strings attached. Well, there was never any conversation about strings being attached. And there was never going to be anything, more than a friendship, but, he thought the money could turn it into something more. And so he got upset and basically left her high and dry with expenses and things that normally she wouldn't have had. So she ends up worse off than she was, not because she was taking advantage of the person, but because she actually believed and trusted in what had been said. When you're giving something, it's a gift and there's not strings attached to it. Otherwise, it's not giving, it's a business transaction. Okay, it's Sunday. I'm going to get a little preachy. I recorded this, and because it's a little syrupy, I was wondering whether I should actually show it, but I'm going to show it. So it's not very long. It's only 40 seconds. Bear with me. I'm going to quote and paraphrase from Khalil Gibran from the book The Prophet. It's one of my favorite books. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It's when you give of yourself that you truly give. There are those who give little of the much which they have, and they give it for recognition, and their hidden desire makes the gifts unwholesome. And there are those who have little and give it all. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked through understanding. Can I get an amen? There's my Sunday preaching. But as I was thinking about this and making some notes, because I've read this book so many times, some of these phrases just came to mind about giving, because giving and friendship is a trap that people tend to fall into. They make a lot of assumptions amen, thank you. They make assumptions because people are living a different way. They make a lot of assumptions that, well, I've got more money than them, therefore poor them. And it's rarely the situation. I mean, it could be, but if you're going to give a gift, you really need to think about, are you giving it in order to buy favor, or are you giving it truly as a gift? Well, what could this person do? Well, just move on with his life and try not to make the mistake again. Or despite the fact that, he tried to put strings to it, he could live through his promises so that he's not, destroying somebody's life for a year while they, sort it out. Those things are possible. But if you're tempted to feel like you're rich and you want to throw some money around, you need to consider the consequences and ask yourself this. If you're giving money because you see somebody you think that needs it, and she just you're a guy and she happens to be a pretty girl, what is your real motive? And if your motive is you're giving that money because you want them to see you as a good guy and eventually maybe reel her in, that's a huge mistake. If that's what you want, go live in Medellin. There's plenty of girls that will give you affection for some money. But That's not the way to do it in most places, and you're misreading that. And use this test. If you're going to give money, would you give the same to a beggar on the street? And if you can say clearly in your heart that, yeah, I would do that. I see somebody that needs something and I give it, no strings attached. And if I saw a beggar on the street, I would do the same. Great, then more power to you. But you want to be very careful about.
Yes, about my tattoo.
Yeah, I know. I'll get to the things later. I get distracted. You want to be careful about, what you're doing and how it's perceived. I made some cliche things here. It's money's not friendship. Don't buy your friends. If you offer a gift, there should never be strings. If you start a friendship using money as power, then what you're really creating is a master and a slave situation, not a friendship. If you portray yourself that way as a source of money, then the other person isn't a friend. What you're doing is you're teaching them to come to you for money. And you see this all the time. You'll see guys that, want to show off. They want to brag. They want to appear to be more than what they are. And so, they throw money around. And people here, and I would say in most places, find it actually pretty rude and crude and see through it. They see it for what it is. And it shows a lack of moral character. So the only person you're usually fooling is yourself. You're kidding yourself if you think that's seen as something good and positive. See, for me, it's always been easy because I've always been poor. So I don't have to worry about that. But if you want a friend, be a friend, make a friend. And you don't need to bring money into it. Now, to be realistic, if you've got a friend anywhere, whether you're in the US or Canada or here in Colombia, and you've known somebody for a period of time, good friends, and you rely on them and they've helped you and you've helped them, with things, and something comes up and you know about it, and if you want to offer to help, that's not unusual. That's friends. But if you have somebody that is coming to you with all their problems and it's all financial, then that's not really a friend. And so, it's like, okay, then you give them money, but walk away from, because it's not really a friendship. It's not a big mystery, but for some reason, when people come here, they seem to forget that. Now, in a practical sense, how do you meet friends? You have to get out and meet people. You have to get out and talk to people. And then friends meet friends. I mean, I met her through Natalie. I pointed at you. It's rude. Grosseto.
Don't worry.
Don't worry? Okay. Be happy. So it becomes like a chain reaction. One friend meets another friend, meets another friend, and it begins with acquaintances. And I've told you guys before, when I did the dating video, I did 2 months of going through different apps and meeting up with people for the purpose of the video. And instead of date talk, it was actually, I would ask questions about, what are they looking for in, different guys, and how did they choose the app and all that, so I could put together that dating video. It was a little surprise, but along the way, I realized that I could make good friends. And I've got friends still today that I met through that. As you meet people, make friends. Just make friends with them. And then you'll make friends with their friends. Or I made a number of friends on a refrigerator I bought 3 years ago through the repairman. And then I met his daughter, and his daughter introduced me to, some other people, and it just grows like it will anywhere. It's not a mystery on how to do it. It gets corrupted here because of the perceived status. Okay, that's my preaching. We're going to go to questions in a minute. I do want to point out, I'm going to put this up. I'm trying out this chat. And if you see it, the scroll at the bottom of the screen, throne.live/@Grand Colombia. If you want to go over there and make some comments there, there's a number of positive things. For example, this live chat, when this video is done, this live chat's done forever, and a new one will open up. This one that I'm talking about is there all the time. And so if a few people want to ask me questions or something, they can put it there. I'll know it. I can add to it. It can be an hour, 2 hours, a day later. It can be an ongoing conversation, and you guys can talk to each other. So it isn't just for the videos. The reason I'm considering this and why I set it up is because I know at some point someday I won't be using YouTube. I'll be using something else. And having a chat like this can keep everything intact. So think about it, consider it. Let me look here. Totally agree, but girls here look for a connection, a friendship. Of course, we like gentlemen, but it's never about money. That won't be long lasting, but in Medellin, you do see a lot. Yeah, exactly. Medellin, it's a beautiful place. I love the city. Could never live there because I don't like big cities, and there's a lot of pollution and traffic's crazy. Of course, COVID, everything's down, and people that are visiting during COVID are looking and not seeing what it normally is. But it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, I think. It has so much going for it. But it's been corrupted because you have tens, 20s of thousands of people coming at any given moment, throwing money around. And they don't realize it's just a different type of economy. And so, they could be on the reverse side of it. And they have been. There were times back in the 70s when people from Japan would come and visit and have so much more money as compared to the dollar. And you had people from Saudi Arabia do the same thing, and rents would go up and everything would go crazy. You can be on the other side of it. It doesn't mean you're lesser or superior. And you have to keep that in mind. And when you go to a country, particularly if you're going to live there, you need to operate as the people in that economy do. And you need to view money as the people in that economy view it. And, not try to be big man on campus and throw it around. Why am I talking so much about this? It's because I see good intentions turn bad. I see reputations get ruined, and I see it affect local people. So how this person in the story, the one from Colombia, how is she going to view the next person that she meets from, the USA or Canada or wherever? And if she happens to run into a couple of those, next thing you know, it's like they're not good people. They can't be trusted. And that's what's happened a lot in Medellin. In other words, don't destroy a city like the Chinese did to Vancouver, Canada. So that's a great example. And that's kind of it. So you're also destroying it for yourself. And you can have a lot of people around you, but none of them are really going to be there when your money runs out or when you run into a problem. You want, friends are going to be there, money or no money. And, that's really what you need in life is real friends. So it's not hard. Is it hard to make friends?
No, it's not hard.
No,
It's easy.
You went to Switzerland, right?
I went. Yes.
Yeah, she followed the line of chocolate, went to Switzerland. Did you have friends there?
Yeah, I had.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy because I was with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of friends. And it was easy, but it was also difficult because in that time I don't speak English, and nobody there speaks Spanish. So it was difficult to me to to be who am I.
Mhm.
But everyone there was trying to kind with me
Mhm.
and to become me part of them. So it's not hard.
Yeah, the communication, the language is an obstacle, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of things in life that can be obstacles. You just don't let them. You just keep going. Uh, all right. So we have this.
It's Q&A time. It's time to start asking your questions. Remember, 4 question marks first, then ask the question.
Okay, let's go. I know you got questions. Can you restore the full screen? I can. I was hoping some people would pop up that chat, but yes, I can. I know you just want a better shot of my guest. Okay, what's up? What's going on, guys? Ask away. I know you got questions. You always do. He's a loser. um, yeah, okay.
My life history.
Wow. I hope it's a 5-minute life. Go ahead.
It's a hard history. I don't really love to talk about this because
See, it's distracting, isn't it? Yeah. Just don't look.
it's well hard, but I try to do my best. No, I can't.
Well, where
I
are you
can't really
from?
to talk about this.
Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia, Bogota, Colombia. I'm 20 years old.
And how do you like Bogota?
How do I like?
Do you like Bogota?
It's my city. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's my city. I appreciate it, but it's pretty big, and I don't know if because the situation we are living now about the virus um, is becoming dangerous, dangerous, and difficult to work, to live, to share with your family, with your friends. That's it.
Yeah. So you come to Armenia. Do you see it different here?
Yes, I was looking for a new life or something else, and Natalie is living here, and she told me that come here and I will show you around. If you love, you can stay. I will help you. If not, you come back to Bogota. I come here for a week. I met around. I really love it. It's beautiful. The weather is pretty, but it's too much to me because I'm from a cold land, cold,
Cold?
cold, cold lands, tierra fría. So to come to a tierra caliente is mm,
You think it's warm here?
to
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
mucho. Y cómo se dice,
It's an adjustment.
what is that?
Little cambio.
Gran cambio.
Okay, do students in Colombia need volunteers to help learn English? Um, maybe sometimes. The best thing you can do is you go to the language schools and ask them. Um, one of my first comments this morning was from Marshall, and see if I can find it. Yeah, it was the very first comment. Marshall Powell, I'll turn in after. He hasn't been on YouTube in quite a while, and he was doing some videos all around Colombia, really good videos. And he left Colombia. He's been living in the Northwest United States, and he's doing a live video today at 11. It won't be for very long, I guess. And so he's going to tune in here afterwards. And in one of his videos, he really liked Armenia. He started, I think, in Cartagena. He went to Cali. He left there like the next morning. It was so bad. He went to Bogota. He went all over the place, but he really liked Armenia, and he stayed here for a while. And he got a job. I don't think he got paid, but he went to a language school and he worked as like a teacher's helper, or maybe he was actually teaching English. I'm not sure. And I don't remember. So that's what you do. You just find a language school, you go in, volunteer your time, and good way to meet people. I would just like, I got my retirement visa approved. Processing time was 9 weeks. Whoa. It took me days. I don't plan on working for money, but rather just volunteer. Yeah, well, to volunteer, you won't need any credentials. And I don't know, there's probably 30, 40 language schools just here in Armenia. So you just pick one, go in and offer to volunteer. There's also a language exchange that I've never been to here, but I understand it's got 30 or 40 people once a week. And, that's a good place to meet people and make friends. How segregated are people in Armenia? Do rich and poor people meet each other? Yes, but no. They run in different circles because if you're poor, you're not going to the same bars and restaurants and stores that they're going to. You're going to the local tienda. You're making, the best deals you can make, and they're not. So, of course, you've got less of a chance to cross paths. But outside of that, there's not a big issue or a big divide in Armenia about that or about anything. Good way to make friends, help Colombians learn English. Making friends in multicultural society versus single society, which to be more challenging. Well, this is not a single society. This is a absolute multicultural society. There's people of all size and shapes and colors and heritage. There's a strong German heritage population in Colombia going back hundreds of years. You'll see blonde-haired, blue-eyed people walking around that were born in Colombia. You'll see Black, you'll see Asian. It's a mixed culture. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Especially Bogota.
Bogota have a lot of multicultural.
Yeah.
I'm from Bogota, and people say that I'm not from there because my color skin.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm from Bogota, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's for you.
The sur.
Do you think the barrios in Bogota are more dangerous?
There are a lot. But most popular is the sur. Como dice sur en inglés? The south.
South.
The south is dangerous in these places.
HD chillin', thank you. I appreciate it.
But sorry.
I love Bogota and was there 3 weeks ago, but understand why she left. Yeah, Medellin is having a spike in crime. Bogota crime is going up. You have people, because of this lockdown, losing jobs. It's changed everything. And if you have people that are desperate and hungry, they're going to rob you. I mean, they're trying, it's the law of survival, right? And, you can't even hate them for it. I mean, you can hate all these governments around the world that are, locking people down. It makes no difference. even if the COVID were more dangerous than the flu, let's say it was twice as, the lockdowns don't help at all. You're not going to stop a virus. These masks don't stop viruses. The virus can walk right in and out of that, that mask. So all of these things are just hurting people, and they've crushed businesses, and they've created so much poverty, and there's no reward for it. There's nothing good about it. And, we're starting to see it. Fortunately, here in Armenia, it's still very similar to what it normally is, but I wouldn't be surprised, if things don't start changing, sometime in the future, if they don't back off all of these. Good thing is we have a mayor here in Armenia that's not locking us down. We actually aren't locked down. We have a 10 p.m. curfew, but we can come and go and as we please.
What
Go ahead.
Sinombre say that
Mhm.
in every capital is right. Every capital, everywhere there are dangerous places. So it's not only in Bogota, it's not only in Medellin, it's everywhere.
Yep.
So you must to be careful wherever you go.
One of the most dangerous cities I've ever been to is Las Vegas. There's parts of Las Vegas that you don't want to go unless you're well armed.
Even here in Armenia, I only have 8 days here. And when I come back to Bogota, I was walking to the terminal. And I don't know how to arrive because I'm new. Natalie explained me how, but I don't understand her. I was walking and I asked a man who was in the street, and he gave me some bad directions. He me mandó, how did you say mandó? He gave me some directions
Yeah.
wrong to
Mhm.
the most dangerous place here in Armenia. I was walking, and unfortunately, I found a policewoman,
Mhm.
and she told me, "Don't go that way. Don't go that way. Go back and turn around
Mhm. Get out of here.
because yeah, what are you doing here?" His face was como, "What? What are you going to do there? Don't go that way. This is the most dangerous places here in Armenia." Okay, I take another way, and she was looking for me in his car to bring me to the terminal because I was in a bad place.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter. It's not only Bogota, it's wherever. If
Yep.
you don't know, you can go to those.
Every city I've
Places.
ever been to has areas that are dangerous. No, anywhere in the world, with the possible exception of Japan. Even there, you need to know your way around. Try Guatemala City if you want a safety challenge. No thanks. Does she have Instagram? Do you have Instagram?
Yes, I have.
Okay, there you go. Good morning. Totally agree. Crime is going up in Canada due to COVID. Yeah, it's going up pretty much everywhere. I mean, how can it not? When you're creating more poverty and more desperation and more frustration, you're creating a situation for crime. So it's just how it is. Now, just so you know, she's not on here looking for a boyfriend. She actually has no interest in finding a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Only friendships.
Yeah. Weird how bus stations are always in the worst part of town. Well, yeah, not so much here actually, but I get what you're saying. In the US, absolutely. She was actually, it wasn't at the bus station that was dangerous. It was the direction she got that she went to, and it was a place that was dangerous. It wasn't actually at the bus station. And that's a thing. You have to be careful with directions you get. Now, this may have been an ulterior motive to basically recognize that she doesn't know where she is and get her a place where she's helpless, and who knows what was going to go on. And fortunately, there's a fair amount of police in Armenia. And here in Armenia, they're actually helpful. Not everywhere is like that, but it's when you get directions from people. With me, I can go and ask somebody directions. They will never say they don't know. Even if they don't know, they will give you directions. True?
That's true.
Yeah. They don't want to say, I don't know. Because I guess they think it's rude to do that. And so they continue to give you directions, even if they have no idea. And that can be frustrating. And maybe if you're going to ask for directions, the best way to ask is ask 2 or 3 people and take the average. I don't know. Sin nombre. Gracias. Canadian $20. That's we figured that was what, like $6.20 in real money? No, just kidding. Thank you very much for the contribution. I appreciate it. Don't be offended now. Don't be offended.
Don't finish the call.
No, he knows I'm kidding. Oh.
Muchas gracias.
You misspelled it. Compres. Now you want me to buy you lunch? I received this in about 1 month. So in 1 month, I owe you lunch.
Okay.
There you
1 month.
$2. You're right. Yeah, well, that goes a long way here. So, anything else?
And your name.
Now, I understand if you did not like the topic today. I understand if you found me being a little preachy and things that you already knew. I get that. And like I said, the reason I talk about it is because even though on the face of it, we all know this stuff, people seem to fall into a trap here and forget about how to be a good person. And maybe with the best of intentions. They say, what is it? Power corrupts, absolute power absolutely corrupts. It's the same with money. Money corrupts. And if you find yourself in a situation where your money is worth more than the average person, then just don't fall for that corruption. Don't let it corrupt your soul. Our prime minister is tanking the how is car travel restrictions? Okay. Travel restrictions here, I don't know of any. How is car? All right, how is car? I have access to rental car at a pretty good rate, which I will be utilizing when the first person comes down in May 6th. I pick him up at the Armenian airport. He's going to spend 3 days here, and I'm going to show him around. And then Natalie and Alejandra will probably show him different places if you're not busy. And what about my car that I've invested half my life and way too much money in? It's there. It exists. It's still at the mechanic. He asked for 1 more week to try to solve it before it goes to the dealership. That was this week. So come Monday, it's either ready to go or I'm going to take it to the dealership where I expect it to be probably 2 or 3 days, and then I'll have my car back. And I've had so much done to it. It's like, well, as long as it's there, do this. Basically, I've kind of rebuilt it from the ground up. So I've got way too much in it. But it's no longer a 2004 old car with a lot of miles on it. It's a 2004 car with a lot of miles on it with all new parts. Ottawa just got restricted. BC restricting movement. Why you need to ask directions? Isn't there any apps on your phones that tell you where to go? Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Not always up to date. Like in the US, Google apps seem to be like right on the money. And here, maybe it might be 3 or 4 year old information. for the most part, it's going to be okay, but it isn't always. And what if you get off the bus and your battery's dead on your phone? Or what if you need to go recharge it? You haven't charged it, or there's a lot of circumstances where you find yourself, you kind of need directions. Or sometimes the app will put you in the area, but you don't know the specific spot for it. So there's a lot of reasons why it does happen. Hey, it's been a while. Finally watching live. Hey, how you doing? What else we got? Anything else? How many people are watching? Okay. Oh, just for jollies, I decided to also stream to Twitch. I don't know if it's a gaming channel for the most part, but I've been a member there for a number of years, and I decided it's free streaming. So I'm streaming on Twitch as an experiment because maybe that'll be the new platform that I stream on. And nobody commented on the other chat. And I really hope that somebody does, because I think you're actually going to like it. How many friends do you have in Armenia? How many friends do I have? How many friends do you have?
I have 2.
You have 2 friends. And plus 2 children.
Plus the children.
Yeah, okay. I have, I don't just want to sit here and count, but I probably have about 20 to 20, about 20 friends. And then I know, I just know people, like where we got the refrigerator, I met them, but they're not friends. Probably 3 times as many. Lauren, do you know how to get to Marshall's live stream? I don't really. It popped up. There's nothing I can do here right now to get there. But if you go to Marshall Powell on YouTube and click his channel, I'm sure it'll come up. Why did you not stay in Switzerland?
I couldn't. I need some papers, and I don't have it. So I only buy the tickets to 3 months and then back.
Are gyms restricting attendance? Now, if you're talking about Armenia, no. The gyms are open. Everything is going mostly normal. Now, they did announce that if you're going to a big department store, like a home center, for example, that you had to do the pico y placa, the odd or even digit on your ID. Except I went into the mall a couple days ago and nobody asked, nobody checked. So I think, here that's like maybe it was an idea they floated, but nothing really happened to it. The only thing is they have a curfew. It doesn't affect me because it's 10 p.m. And bars and restaurants are open. There is no dancing still. I think that's because the dance clubs went out of business and nobody's reopening. I think that has more to do with it.
I don't really know too much about here in Armenia, but in Bogota there are many restrictions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this weekend they can't even leave their house.
No.
It's in Medellin's the same.
Now all the weekends are in quarantine.
Yeah. I'll be traveling to Armenia the first week of May. What time bars and restaurants are closing? Right now it's 10 p.m. For me, I'm home by then, so it makes no difference. They had completely lifted any curfew. That's a compromise because he doesn't do quarantines and lockdowns and a lot of things, but he does do the curfew. So, I'm sure he gets a lot of heat, particularly, from the government of Colombia, who really want to see more quarantine, and he's refused to do it. He was quoted, "As long as I'm mayor, there'll never be another lockdown." That's what he said. Beautiful country, but it's incredibly expensive. Only the air is free. That's Switzerland. It's true.
That's true.
The air is free.
Pretty, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
It's a little cold
But if
sometimes.
the government, whatever, if the government can buy the air, they will do it.
Can you fly within Colombia without a COVID test?
Yes. But in Colombia.
Just in Colombia? Yeah, now there's some talk about there being some restrictions on some flights in Colombia, but I haven't seen anything for sure on that. There's a lot of talk, but I've talked to people just recently who made a couple flights in Colombia, and they just got on the airplane.
I don't know if the flight asks for the COVID test, but by bus is possible.
Yeah. Alejandra, Canada is allowing many more immigrants in the coming future.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Canada,
me too.
but I need money.
Yeah.
Everywhere is about money. The
Yeah.
tickets, to go there, to live, to study, whatever. You need money.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's actually pretty typical. Before COVID, she, had her job, had her apartment, but then COVID comes and everything changes. And next thing you know, all those things that you thought were just your life are gone. True?
Totally.
Yeah. Are the schools closed? They're open here now, but they're doing a mixture. There's classrooms for some, and there's still homeschooling for some others. And in some cases, there's a mixture where they can go to a class and then there's homeschooling. It really depends on a lot. Cost of haircuts from video this week. Now, see, did you really watch that video? Because I did a close-up on the price schedule. This haircut was expensive. It cost 15,000 pesos.
15?
15.
What?
15, 1, 5.
That's a
15,000.
lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
But I like that place, and so I go and I pay it. Now, haircuts usually are between 8 and 10,000 for a man. That's a typical price.
That's why I cut my hair by my own.
Sam and Tasha from another YouTube channel are from Switzerland. Yep, we know that. And Canada is cold. Yeah. Canada is ridiculously expensive, and the reason I cannot retire here. I'm coming to Colombia May 10th, but I worry that flights from Air Canada will once again be suspended. Yeah, it's possible. Canada and the United States and Europe seem to have gone back to crazy town and slapping all kinds of, things on. But here, well, it's returning in some things. They're reacting here. I mentioned this last week. They're reacting out of fear because of the new strain that's now attacking children. And there's a lot of people that are kind of panicked about it. And because it comes from Fauci in the United States and England, they follow what they're doing because they assume that all the information and studies is actually based in science. So, all right. Crazy how South American can't figure how to open the country. Last night in Florida, UFC. Okay. Yeah, the places that have been open from the beginning, Japan for the most part. You've got various countries, and now we've got over a year to look at it. And the countries that had voluntary restrictions but didn't have the government forcing restrictions, they've actually fared better. And then in the United States, you have states that have lifted and basically have become open versus states that continue with the lockdowns. And it's the same situation there. So we're seeing it being proven out with a year's worth of data, more than a year's worth of data, that none of these things actually produce a good benefit, but it devastates people's lives. But who are we? We're just YouTube watchers and YouTube's presenters, and we're not going to change anything. Haircut looks like a 5,000 cut.
So bad looks.
It's the head that it's on. I think the haircut was good. I think what you're really saying is the toad, the frog that the hair is on. Ugly is ugly. I can't help it. And I told the guy when he was cutting my hair, I should have put it on video. I said, right now, this hair, it's really ugly, but when you're done, please make sure that I'm beautiful. Didn't work. Being a bald person, I'm a bit jealous of your haircut. Yeah, I'm not bald. My hair is so fine that I don't know if you can see it. I can see my scalp through my hair because it's like baby hair. Thing is, there are no children affected. Total propaganda. No, that's not true. There is a strain here that's hitting kids. I talked about some details last week. That's not propaganda. It's actually happening, and that's why people are panicked. The only thing is, the quarantine lockdown won't alter that. It's not going to change it. Okay, Taiwan is open, but everyone wears masks. Taiwan, they've always worn masks. As a matter of fact, I was in Taiwan, oh my God, in the 70s. And they were wearing masks back then. Not everybody, but they wore it more for pollution. Now, I have to say, when that was in Taipei. Now, when I went to Tainan, you didn't really see it very much. But in Taipei, you saw a lot of people wearing masks. And when I went to China, it was similar. You saw a lot of people wearing masks, but again, it's really pollution. But yeah, good point. Bogota is touristic city or more business? It's more business. Yeah.
The only part for tourists is the downtown. It's the only.
Yeah, it's not really it is a little, but Medellin is a tourist place, or Cartagena.
Mm-hmm.
And in Colombia, Armenia, believe it or not, is a tourist destination. It's a second favorite. And don't forget San Andreas, the island in the Caribbean, very popular for tourists. Bogota, what is little known to people is Colombia is very self-sufficient in a lot of ways. They make their own cars, they make refrigerators and stoves, and the stand that my monitors are mounted on is made in Colombia. It's pretty cool, and a lot of that comes out of Bogota. Old story, the hare and the toad. Yeah, it grows. My friend in Medellin, her uncle died. Her 6-year-old very sick from COVID, very bad. It's a race to get everyone inoculated before COVID strikes everyone. I don't know. You've got people getting vaccinated and then they're getting COVID afterwards. The bottom line, in my opinion, is that you can't stop a virus. If a vaccination works, go for it. I'm not anti-vax. I understand why people are and have questions about it. I probably won't bother because I got COVID and I saw what it was and I saw how it affected me personally. So, what are the safest cities in Colombia? Well, that's an impossible question because where in the city are you talking about? If you're talking about, there's places in Bogota that are completely safe. There's places in Armenia that are completely dangerous. There's places in Cali. Well, Cali is pretty much dangerous everywhere. A little joke, but I'm always beating up on Cali. I just don't like it. But it's the city knowing where to be careful, knowing where not to go is really what's key. It's not that a city in and of itself is necessarily dangerous. You can go to Chicago, which has a murder rate like most countries don't have, but there are places in Chicago that are completely safe to go. And that's the important thing. If you're going to go to a place, know where to go, know what to avoid. And don't get involved in seedy things. A lot of people come to Colombia and they think, well, drugs are easy and they're free. But whenever you're buying those things, you're buying from criminals, you're buying from gangs, you're buying from people that are sizing you up. And if they think that they can get more than money for some drugs, then you can get pulled into something that you never thought you'd be involved in. People just have the wrong idea. Well, marijuana, it's easy and, they won't bother you. Yeah, but you're missing the whole point. Prostitution is legal in Colombia, but there's still pimps and gangs that control that business. So you got to be careful of how you live. Tell to those of us with a strong immune system and have never had the flu once in our lives, right? Sorry, I'm not signing up unless I'm absolutely forced to. Yeah, I don't know. That is, or at least it should be, personal decisions. And the thing is, if it turns out that was effective and somehow you got burned on it, at least it was a decision that you made. It's like there's nobody you're going to sue. There's nobody you're going to point fingers at. You're an adult. You made your own decision. And personally, I think that's the way it should be. How is Pereira? Is it dangerous? Well, again, yeah, I lived there for not quite a year, a long time ago when most of Colombia was dangerous. But I've been back many, many times, and it's like every city. There's nice areas and there's places that you shouldn't go. One of my problems with Pereira is places that I used to like to go, like, the main plaza, the Bolivar Plaza. Now there are hundreds of migrants there. Now, some will pick your pocket, but it's more of an annoyance because they don't have a place to live and they go there and hang out and they try to beg for money and they pee right there. They just pee. So you go to that place and it just smells like a toilet. If you walk by it, you want to go take a shower because it's just nasty. And that used to be a beautiful little plaza. I used to like to go and sit and watch the pigeons and look at the Simon Bolivar statue. It's one of the best ones. It's sitting, on his horse and looking majestic. And now it's just nasty. So it's, cities are safe and dangerous. And they're all like that. Yeah. You just need to learn to make friends so they can tell you where to stay away from.
I think the situation makes the criminal.
Yeah. I think in a lot of cases, yes. Type O negative blood. Look that up. I'm type O negative blood. Okay. Can you say why you hate Cali? Well, I did a video about why I hate Cali and I listed 4 things, but basically a city tends to represent the character of the people in that city. Now here in Armenia, I've showed you, I've talked about it, where you'll see people not working for the government, but they'll go out and they'll cut weeds by the road and they paint things and think Germany, you go to a German neighborhood and everything is just like perfect and well maintained and clean because it's built into the culture there. And here in Armenia, you see a lot of that. You go to Cali, what you see is garbage thrown out in the street, not for garbage pickup, because they do it every day. And when you go to Cali and you drive around the city, you see garbage in the center median, you see it on the side of the road. You see dogs running around loose and getting into the garbage and throwing it everywhere. You just see a lack of care and a lack of respect for each other. Here in Armenia, you have an obvious respect for other people where the taxis will stop and let people go in front of them. He doesn't, I'm in a hurry and I'm going to run them up. You don't see that here, really. You see a respect for other people. And you go to Cali and you see the opposite. The taxis will go out of their way to try to run you over. So, it's very hot. Cali is very hot, and it's hot. It's dirty. It's cold-blooded. I don't know. There's just nothing I like about it. There's some beautiful things and beautiful areas in Cali. I mean, I will give it that. But to me, it sucks. Maybe you like it. Your guest is gorgeous. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Or beautiful, or cute. No,
What is good?
guest, you.
Me?
Yeah,
Ah,
hermosa.
sí.
Are you a family member of Nat or only friends? If so, how did you meet?
We are only friends. We met in the school when we was to learn English. She left, and
In
I
Bogota.
was in Bogota. I was continuing to the course. Thank you so much.
Ale. That's your
Ale.
nickname?
Nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, Alme.
Alame. That's like Germany. Alemania.
Alme? No, Alme. Alme.
Alme. Alejandra. Lo siento.
Why?
Oh,
¿Por qué lo siente?
I don't know. Qué pena.
¿Qué sientes? Me dejó perdida.
Okay. We got anything else today, or are we going to wrap it up here? How long's it been? How old are your children? Do you have children?
No. No, I have not.
No. Natalie has 2 children. Oh, he spelled your name wrong.
I even though, no lo vi.
Well, lo siento is a little strong for spelling a name wrong. That's like there's degrees, and it's more like perdón. Perdón. Lo siento is more, I'm really sorry. You have a perdón, which is oops. Oh, perdón.
I don't even saw it.
And you have discúlpeme. It's a little bit more. And then you have lo siento. Lo siento.
Perdón, lo siento.
Yeah. How spell your okay, misunderstanding. Sorry. Perdón, lo siento. Friendless city in Colombia. Well, Armenia. I mean, you don't get a name of amable by not being friendly. Okay. What do you think is the friendliest city in Colombia? You've been to
Wherever.
other places.
Wherever.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Depends
Yeah, people here is pretty friendly.
It depends who you meet, I
And
guess.
the situations.
Yeah, I think Colombia in general are a pretty friendly people. Yes, you are very pretty. Well, thank you. Thank you.
His cut.
I try. I think it's the haircut, but yeah, I really appreciate that. And she's pretty too. Okay, we're going to end it here. Thank you guys for suffering through the lecture. I appreciate that, and I'll see you next Sunday. Oh, Marshall, if you get a chance, check out Marshall Powell's video channel. Ciao.
Bye.